Here we are, Amsterdam. My name is Peter Scholten, and since 1995 I'm working with Emio Greco, and we're working with the art from dance. Originally, I'm from theater director, but since 1995 I'm completely into dance.
It's very nice.
We're starting together. In fact, the two of us, and through the years, we're sort of expanding. We working now with more dancers. We created our company, Emio Greco PC. And since 2008, well, we did already a lot of other activities, in fact, and we wanted to put all these activities together. And so we initiated what we now call an international choreographic art center here in Amsterdam. And this is now sort of way starting from 09, in fact.
Yes, and I'm Emio Greco. I'm the choreographer and dancer. I'm Italian and living in Amsterdam, in Holland, since 1994. 1995, start my career as a choreographer. Thanks the fortunate meeting that I had with Peter at the time. I was always in dance, and I'm still deeply in dance. Since 09, what Peter said, we are artistic IM, and we are artistic director of the ISECA Amsterdam.
Yes.
Well, in the bigger frame, it started already. In fact, but that we're not really only were interested in just producing or creating a performance, but also all these activities around it. And that's also when we come in America. It's also that besides the performance, we like also to share our ideas, and this can be in the workshops or some lectures or after talks, pre-talk. Process of the Popopera we start already quite long time. If I thinking about the collaboration with Michael Gordon,
yes,
and from there, starting with Michael, when we get to have the first conversation with Michael, it was really about this. Well, how sound or music can become physical, and how physicality can become sound or music. So that was the first thing which we dropped in on when we first started with the conversation. And then we did one performances in 2002, in fact, Rimasto Orfano. That was the first collaboration. And then, yeah, we wanted to go further. So how he could compose out of physicality, and how could we inspire his music.
Yeah.
And then there was a moment that he wrote us just an email, let's create a rock band. And so
it was great.
And it was just, out of the blue. So we thought, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then we could really make the sort of necessity also with Purgatorio, with going to, because Purgatorio is for us about life, but also you have to, it's a passion for life. So you have to work for it, and you have to suffer almost. But suffer in a very constructive, positive sense. And then it was a great process to see our dancers suddenly with this guitar in our hand and having the first lesson, because we started with the master classes.
Yeah.
And they really had pain also in the fingers. So it was really suffering. And we all did it. So I also did the lessons in Emio. So it was a great process to start. These two worlds came together, because you can see it, in fact, in all our work. This we like sort of in some way the pop. At the same time, it's the work, you could say, is very sacral. There's sacrality and religious and ritualistic, and you can hear it also in the music, because I find also that's why I think the music of Michael could go very well with our work.
Yeah, the Michael music, in this case, what he composed for us, of course, it has this say, rough and finished sound, which also it's almost evocative of church bells almost. So, but it's never a representative. So it's never really a direct link with the subject that we are working with.
Yeah.
But there is inside. I mean, it's a long journey to find somehow a connection with that subject.
Yeah.
A physical connection, a state of body and state of mind that eventually can connect to the subject. Was the first time in Purgatorio we gave some space to kind of composition that we never apply in our formal performance for a very determined choice. But we try in this way also because Purgatorio is a path. It needs to have certain rules, a certain strategy, and that is also evident in the structure in the Purgatorio. There is a strategy in the choreography, which create what's this composition, or organization of badly intention.
The fifth element, which is a part in the Popopera, which they dealing with the guitar in a sort of way as an instrument, but also as a part of their body. That's why we call it the fifth element on a certain level. And the dance material, which we want to see how they would deal with that, we took from an earlier piece, which was called Extra Dry, which is one of our first pieces, which was almost our most intense piece, which is in fact was for two persons, but which we called not a duet, but a solo for two. So and we used that material, but then combined with an extra part of the body, which was the extra part of the body was a guitar.
Yeah.
And this was quite it was quite interesting for us to see how to deal with that, because on certain part it is a part of your body.
Yeah. Yeah, like, can you
also you can very strong your part also of the body, which is an instrument, because your body is also an instrument, and gives also sound. Well, then you go further with that.
It is also it has a double function. One side it's to exactly to reflect, but also to give us let's say a checking action. If still we are doing what we in our artistic manifesto we're supposed to do, and with what we do still have sense. And the other side is also a little bit to sometimes also you quote also to detach from yourself, to take a detachment and to desacralize also your work, and to make also not to take it to ourselves too much serious. We also like to think that the two of us, we are not too important.
From 2008, so now we're working on the last part, which with Paradiso. So
2007?
No, 2008.
Okay.
It's a 2-year cycle.
Yeah.
2006, Hell. 2008, Greco. In 2010, we will premiere Paradiso. So we are now around Paradiso. Still not knowing what Paradiso is, but it's we have to find out. Starting up other projects, we still also have a project which is more dealing with music, which will premiere in March 2010. So yeah, different projects with different artists. Also, we're working together. We will have an artist in residence also, which is Andrea Borcik. She's Croatian who is living and working here in Amsterdam. So this will be also a new thing for us to see how that works. But it's also a policy or an idea for IC Amsterdam to give a talented person also the inspiration also and to work inside our
that's great.
Our building. We choose we are, let's say, very selective in the sense because it's not for everybody. So and it's better to choose someone who you really have something with, where you can really build a dialogue with. That's for us the most important.
We think that the artists that should apply should also, in a way, be also interested in our work. Therefore, the communication that makes sense. Yeah. Because there is already shared ground.
Of course.
That can connect people.
Well, thank you very much. And
thank you, Mark.
Yes, and let's keep in touch.
Okay, and
see you in New York.